What's good, racing world? This is Matt Dobbs, aka Mr. Matt Racing, bringing you a new installment of Time Trial Tuesday. We're going to be going over this past weekend's events from St. Petersburg and Circuit of the Americas. Craftsman Truck Series made history by going to St. Petersburg for the first time ever, running a street course for the first time ever, and the race also featured two IndyCar stars, Dario Franchitti and James Hinchcliffe. Both drivers had great debuts, but only one of them had the results to show for it, that being Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe had a host of problems during the race, from missing corners to getting caught up in dust-ups with other drivers, including Franchitti at one point, but still fought his way back to a 10th place finish in the 77 truck for Spire Motorsports. Whereas Franchitti drove the one truck for Tricon Garage, ran such a clean race between 5th through 9th the entire time, but then had to make an unscheduled pit stop late in the race that killed his run. The finish should not define what Franchitti ran throughout that race. Overall, I think it's fantastic that we got to see a couple of IndyCar racers jump into the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for a race and kind of do that crossover like I just mentioned. We need more races like that where we have world-class racers coming in and applying their craft in a different world of racing. Overall, the racing was fantastic for a first ever street course race, resulting in Lane Riggs taking the checkered flag. Now we move to the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. And boy, were we in for a treat early on. Connor Zilisch and Shane Van Gisbergen putting on a dominant battle like we expected. Van Gisbergen and Zilisch traded the lead throughout the first stage before making the strategy call to flip the stage like we see at most road courses. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that battle anymore after that point because at the beginning of the second stage, Zilisch started losing his brakes. While Van Gisbergen continued out front, Zilisch fell through the pack. Even with Zilich's best efforts to fly through the pack before getting junked by Corey Day with 3 laps to go, it ended up being another Shane Van Gisbergen masterclass. What ended up winning Van Gisbergen the race is the 5-1 pass he made going into turn 1 on the final restart with 5 laps to go. Everyone washed up and he slipped on through. It may seem unfair that the two best road racers in the sport were in the same race in the series lower than the Cup Series, but honestly, it's what's best for it because it helps the younger ones as well as anybody else in the lower series just be able to learn off these guys and get better, even if it means getting taken to school or back behind the woodshed. Now we go to the Cup Series where history was made, but not in the way most people expected. Van Gisbergen was looking for 6 in a row to tie Jeff Gordon for the longest road course winning streak in history. But it didn't happen. Instead, it was Tyler Reddick making history by becoming the first driver ever to win 3 straight races to start the season. And he beat Van Gisbergen at his own game to do it. Now, whether if it was good Reddick or bad Van Gisbergen, it definitely had to be good Reddick, because Reddick had the best car all weekend. He qualified on the pole and led the most laps in the race. And he just always found a way to turn up the heat the second he was facing pressure. It didn't matter if it was Ryan Blaney pressuring him or if it was Van Gisbergen pressuring him. He always found extra tenths in the bank. Safe to say we are witnessing a generational run right now from Reddick, who many drivers in the past have deemed as the fastest driver in the garage area. He is certainly proving that right now. But can he continue that as we go to Phoenix? Now, what did you all think about this past weekend's racing? And what did you think about the Cup Series debut on the 750 horsepower package for the road courses? Stay tuned for this week's edition of Fast Friday as we get you ready for Phoenix. Until then, that's going to do it for today. Leave a like, share this video, subscribe for more content, follow my links below, and I will see you on the road.